Grand opening, grand closing.
Well, welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend is YouTube Street Puerto77. Thank you for checking out the video. When we talk about this tea right over here, it's official. Factions has been canked, finito, gone. Let me read you the official statement right here. It says right here, we realize many of you have been anticipating news around the project that we've been calling The Last of Us Online. There's no easy way to say this. We made the incredibly difficult decision to stop development on that game. We know this news will be tough for many, especially our dedicated The Last of Us factions community who have been following our multiplayer ambitions ardently. We're equally crushed at the studio as we were looking forward to putting it in your hands. We wanted to share with you some background on how we came to this decision. The multiplayer team has been in pre-production with this game since we were working on The Last of Us Part 2, crafting an experience we felt was unique and had tremendous potential. As the multiplayer team iterated on their concept of The Last of Us Online during this time, their vision crystallized, the gameplay got more refined and satisfying, and we were enthusiastic about the direction in which we were headed. In ramping up to full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us Online, we would have to put all our studio resources behind supporting post-launch content for years to come, severely impacting development on future single-player games. So we had two paths in front of us: become a solely live service game studio or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage. We are immensely proud of everyone at the studio that touched this project. The learnings and investment in technology from this game will carry into how we develop our projects and will be invaluable in the direction we are headed as a studio. We have more than one ambitious brand new single player game that we're working on here at Naughty Dog, and we cannot wait to share more about what comes next when we're ready. Till then, we're incredibly thankful to our community for your support throughout the years. Back to own news. All right. So that's it. Let's go with what they said. Pretty much, as the way of developing the game, they realized to support this game in the long run, the whole studio would now have to change who they are. A studio that developed amazing single player story driven games to now a fully functioning live service studio, similar to Bungie. And then that's all they're going to do. They chose, instead of doing that and changing who they are, they're sticking with what we want from them, which is a single player studio. Now, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this, because that's why you're here, right? I mean, you could have read this yourself. But be honest. Oh, I'm so goddamn relieved. Oh my God. Listen, I'm going to tell you, not only am I happy about this, I'm hoping Sony's rethinking the whole strategy. I said from the get-go that Sony does not need to deep dive into multiplayer. All right. Everybody's demanding fuck you and your money. I listen, okay? We wouldn't even be having a conversation talking about Sony's first party if it wasn't for the actual them getting better in single player games. Stop playing. Right? Stop this trash. All right? Stop this nonsense. All right? Half of y'all won't even play the multiplayer if it came out anyway. Okay? Yeah, we'll go back to your Call of Duty, your Fortnites, and your Apex and all that bullshit. Stop lying with this nonsense, right? Now, all right, let's say Sony has to diversify. They didn't have to jump to 12 live service games. They didn't have to go that hard, right? And they definitely didn't have to redirect studios that are making some of the best single player games out there. I could maybe imagine if the studio was doing mid shit. I'll give you a perfect example. Gorilla. I think, can we admit Killzone was mid at best? It was mid. It wasn't a top killer multiplayer. I think at its best, it was Killzone 2, which was good, but then they effed it all up with Killzone 3. And Shadowfall, stop it. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Stop capping. Stop. Stop wearing the cap, all right? Stop the cap. Y'all out here wearing this cap right now. I'm gonna leave this in here because that's what y'all doing. Y'all wearing this cap right now, okay? So if you're making mid stuff and you want to reinvent yourself, got it. Because who you are right now is mid, and that's not good enough. So Gorilla going from mid to one of the best developers because of Horizon, it is what it is. But Naughty Dog wasn't mid. This was a game of the year caliber studio, constantly setting the trend. Even Microsoft said themselves that the stuff they're doing, no one is even doing out there, even on PC. And they were not talking about their multiplayer. They were talking about the way they craft the single player experiences, which is top notch, which is up there. You know? So you didn't have to really mess with this studio. So Naughty Dog's thinking, going out there being like, we have a decision. We either go all in on this live service or we got to dump it and do what we do best. At least I know they're crafting at least two because they said it right there. We have more than one ambitious, brand new single player games. So they at least have two, maybe three. Now I'm happy. And I'm hoping this whole re-strategy of gas. Now, and we said this all the time, that gas is not an easy thing to jump into. Not a lot of people get success. We see more flops in gas than successes. It's not easy, right? Now, the best part is this. Y'all fanboys, y'all concubines, y'all swore you can't make no money on single player. Yet most of the games Microsoft's coming out are single player. And when it came down to the line, Naughty Dog had a choice. Go gas or go hardcore single player. And they said, we going single player. So what are y'all talking about? See, the reality is this, and this is for the PlayStation news. You're going to hear a lot of these Xbox fanboys talking about, if you're happy, they're like, oh, you're a fanboy. You do whatever Sony wants. No, we didn't want this. And don't even bullshit. You know the whole community. There was nobody out here that really thought this was a good idea or Sony actually brought out a good idea with this. 12 live service games, everybody was like, what the fuck? Everybody. There was nobody that really thought that this whole thing was a good idea, at least the way they presented it. It was way too much, way too fast. And then half of y'all talk shit about PlayStation. Where's the roadmap? Well, it was this bullshit that slowed down the roadmap. So I'm glad they canked this shit. This shit was a problem. This shit slowed down progress. Who knows how many other studios slowed down progress? I even mentioned this on Crossfire. What impacts have this decision made? Slow down progress. And for what? For the majority of the multiplayer games to fail anyway, because most guys' games fail. Nah, this is a good thing. Get right back on track. And I'm not saying, listen, for Sony not to do anything at all, but you got to do it the right way. Like them going after Jade Raymond Studios, Firework Studios, getting new talent, new people, new developers to do multiplayer, that's fine. The former Call of Duties of, former devs of Call of Duty, whatever, forming a new studio, that's fine. You can do that. But if you got your single player studios that are at the peak of what they're doing for single player, and then you got others that are just on the come up, like Sucker Punch, right? And then you got others that are trying to get a redemption, like Sony Band. Let them cook. Let them do what they can do. Don't just chase the money. Not all money is good money, you know? And I'm glad Sony's like, you know what? We went too hard for no reason. No reason at all. You did not have to go this hard, right? Even 6 live service games by 2025. We're 2023 is almost over. So over the next 2 years, 6 live service games, even that's a lot. Let alone 12. Come on, bro. And that allocation budget to all those live service games for, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But I'm glad something must have happened and it woke them the hell up. Because Sony has a strategy, said, hey, we're reducing from 12 and focus on 6. Now we got this. I'm just saying. I'm happy. You know, it sucks that this slowed down the pipeline. Because if they never would have done this bullshit, when they announced that they're not dropping the multiplayer for The Last of Us 2, I thought that was bullshit. I have that. You could go, if y'all thought that I try to hype that, oh yeah, it's a great idea. No. They should have just released the multiplayer on The Last of Us 2, a simple multiplayer. Not this big, overwhelming shit. I said they should have just released the multiplayer just like the first one. The first one has single player multiplayer. Second one, single multiplayer. Just something simple. You have to go hard, and we would have been fine. The game would have had probably a small community. They would have sold their little T-shirts. Wouldn't have been much. It definitely wouldn't have delayed or slowed down projects that they got going on. But at least they got it out. They ripped the Band-Aid off the wound, and now we're done with that shit. We're moving on. Screw factions. Done. They should have done it right the first time, but they didn't. We're just moving on. We're going to get at least two new single-player games. I'm projecting 2025 the earliest, you know? And that's fine because 2024, the Pro comes out. I'll be playing Naughty Dog's new game on that Pro if it's worth it. If it's some bullshit like the PS4 Pro, you got to do something. You got to do something. You got to do a better job than what you did before. Do a better job what you did before, I'm going to be playing that Naughty Dog on the Pro, you know? But listen, I'm happy. You Xbox fanboys, shh, you know? Because let me put it this way. The decision Naughty Dog made with being like, nah, we're not doing this, that's the decision Microsoft made when they saw Redfall. Some games need to get canceled. Some games need to be like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. This thing's looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so glad Naughty Dog's like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not going to change our whole identity, right? You know what we want. PlayStation Nation, you know the games you want. Don't listen to these concubines out there. You know, listen, I'm going to tell you, the concubines they do want Sony to go make 12 live service games because they know odds are they're going to suck. Naughty Dog focusing on single player? They don't want that. I want that. They do not want those problems because they know damn well they don't got a studio to compete with that. They know they don't. They rather have these studios make multiplayer games because they know it's more challenging, especially live service games. Odds are you're going to screw it up. And that's what they want. They don't want a refined PlayStation studios that understands like this is not going to work. Let's focus on this because we're going to make bangers. They don't want that. They want a concubine for their box. That's third place. That's selling like trash. With games that drop out of, you know, the MPD faster than the Knicks drop out of the playoffs. It is what it is. Naughty Dog, hey, for those of you who were waiting for factions, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not sympathetic. I wish I could be for you guys, but I'm not. I simply don't care. I'm just yo. Naughty Dog, get in the kitchen, get these games going, give me my single player experiences. You know that's what we want. This is your boy Puerto77. Let me know what you think. Are you mad? Are you sad? Are you Xbox out there concubining? I don't give a nah. You know what? I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. But hey, hopefully by 2025. I still don't think they're gonna have anything in 2024, especially after this. This right here pretty much tells me we could get announcements though. But 2025, Naughty Dog, new single player game. What do you think? You think it's a new IP? Or do you think it's The Last of Us 3? That's the question to ask. Last of Us 3 or new IP 2025? Hit your comments below. Puerto77. You guys take care. Only friend in these YouTube streets. And as far as they canceling this game, I don't give a fin up. I don't. Peace.
Grand opening, grand closing.